It's TK Irish, and we're at Camp Kennerk once again, and we're just having a great time. It's January. We got a lot of things to think about, to plan on. The winter time, everyone gets a little tired of being inside and this and that, and you think to yourself, what am I going to do this summer? I want to take a trip. I got an itch in my foot. I want to go somewhere. So when you're making your plans, you always remember that it's always good to go back to the old country. Go back to Ireland. Go see this bit of the sod, as we used to say. And that's really quite simple because all you need to do is get your plane ticket, fly to Shannon International Airport just outside Limerick. And when you land, when you're coming into the Limerick, you're going to see this huge castle. And it's not an ancient one. I mean, it's ancient, but it's well preserved. It's called the Monrodie Castle. Now, the Monrodie Castle has really turned into a place of fine dining, tours, and events. And what's really fun about it is that they have a festival, medieval festival dining opportunity. And that's where you sit at these big, long tables. And there's a lot of singing and jokes and carrying on. And they bring you all this food, and you have to take your hands and you eat it with your hands. And there's no utensils. And so, in other words, you got to be careful because if you get a rowdy crowd in there, you might end up uh, in a food fight. Now, I've been there, I've never seen it. But it always seems to be when I've gone there, they said, "Oh, Tom, you should have been here last week. It was a heck of a night. We had Jimmy O'Malley and his crew in here. Well, he got a little bit too much of the meat in him, and well, the food was flying and everyone was laughing. And some people didn't think it was so funny, but they left early and we just kept carrying on. So another place they have right there is a little pub, Dirty Nelly's. Now, Dirty Nelly's is a true traditional pub where you go in and they got the 15 type of lagers and Guinness is on tap and they got the food and stuff. But what they really have that when you go there, you need to get the shepherd's pie. Man, I tell you what, there's no instant potatoes when they make shepherd's pie there. They got a garden out back. This is the original farm to table concept, and it's been going on for hundreds of years. So if you can't make a new friend in Dirty Nelly's, well, then you didn't go. Simple as that. It's just a great place to go. And so you stop there, enjoy the countryside, the fresh air, the green rolling hills, and then you go into Limerick and start your week. You just go in there, and there's a little hotel that I used to stay at. It was called the 3 Mile Inn. And the reason why it was called 3 Mile Inn, this is very original, because it was 3 miles from the downtown. That's one of the things about the Irish. They don't want to confuse you with, how do I say, all this Hollywood hype. You get it, they got it. But, the locals, they just want to keep things simple. So when they were building the place, the owner said, well, what are we going to call this? I don't know. I don't know. And they were throwing out names, and someone said, well, how far are we from downtown? They said 3 miles. Well, there's your answer right there. Then, all you got to do is we're at the 3 Mile Hotel, 3 miles from Limerick. Well, the name stuck, and that's always a great place to hang out and start your trip there. Now, Douglas, you've been down to Limerick. Did you ever remember seeing the 3 Mile Inn?
TK, so good to see you. No, I never met, went to Limerick, but I just drove on through, but I never went to the 3 Mile Inn, and that would have been just a wonderful place to have a pint of Guinness. So this summer, I'm going to take a look at the airline schedules. I'm sure it's a direct flight from Houston or Dallas into Ireland and look forward to it. But more importantly, how are you? This has been a big week for you.
Oh, Douglas, I haven't had this much excitement in many, many years. First of all, we had the big popcorn party Monday night to celebrate National Popcorn Day. And as you know, it tied into the NCAA College Football Championship, who featured the University of Miami and the Indiana Hoosiers. So we had two parties in one going on. Now, I'm not going to tell you anything about what happened during the game on this side of the TV screen, but on that side of the TV screen, watching the Indiana Hoosiers win their first national championship ever was exciting for everybody. And I talked to some of my family and friends this morning, as a matter of fact. They haven't sobered up yet. They're still at O'Malley's. I think O'Malley's has just decided to stay up. They're not going to shut it down. They got to close. You sleep on the pool table, the ping pong table, and we'll fire it up when you wake up.
TK, what a great story. And yes, it was beautiful. But first off, it was National Popcorn Day, and I am having some popcorn. You can see that I've almost finished the bag of Boom Chicka Pop, sweet and salty kettle corn. What is your popcorn? What do you have?
I am an original. I pop my popcorn from the bag and this is just an Aldi special popcorn. But I got a little trivia question for you, Douglas. We've all popped popcorn over the years, and sometimes those kernels don't pop. They're just sort of duds.
Right.
They have a nickname,
What are they called?
Old Maids.
Old Maids. I love that.
Old Maids. Old Maids. So that was always, I had my brother Steve, who was one of our happy campers, and he loved eating those little Old Maids that sort of popped halfway. So,
Steve's up there in Wyoming, and we had a great interview with him as a happy camper. And on that note, he did send me a thank you note for the keychains that I sent to him up there for the Flip Off Big C. And
mhm.
he sent me a piece of elephant foot. Now, I didn't know there were any elephants up there in Wyoming, but Steve's a pretty resourceful guy. He's in the tanning business, but he sent me a slice of elephant foot right here.
Well,
So,
Douglas, now I'm not saying my brother Steve is a practical joker, but he is. So let me ask you this. Have you or anybody else that you know ever seen an elephant hide?
no.
So how do you know that's an elephant hide?
I'll take his word on it. But I would like to know his next sighting and then the Guinness beer ratio of how many beers he has before he steps out into Wyoming and sees an elephant.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows
Well,
the difference between an elephant and a buffalo. You know,
well, that's
yeah.
that very valid point, Douglas. And I think what we're going to do is he's going to do some sightings for us, man on the street sightings. So we'll ask him about that.
Okay, that's perfect, and that's good to know. Now, you were mentioning the we just talked about the National Popcorn Day, and I believe we have some videos that can be shown. And Kevin, our magnificent computer guy, is going to run a couple of the videos right now.
Well, would you look at that? It's popcorn coming right out of the ground, and it's rolling like a lava flow. You can hear it crackling, smells like the fair. Never seen anything like it.
King of the world!
And a whole truckload of popcorn. Let's see if the shovel works. Whew, that's a heavy scoop.
Here we go. Oh, it's a popcorn snowstorm. Not bad, though. I think this might.
Douglas, how do you come up with this stuff? I mean, I know you're creative, but there's a point in time that you got to draw a line between creative, which starts with CR, and what other word starts with CR? Crazy.
Well,
So,
there's a fine line there, fine line, and your audience decides.
that's right. That's right. Well,
Let's get back to the your big day, the the college football championship game, Indiana over Miami, which
Mhm.
was one heck of a game. And my vote for the player of the game and of the century is Charlie Becker, the guy who caught that interception at the very end of the game. Without that, because the wide receiver for Miami was wide open. He was beyond it, but Charlie came in and caught that. So I think that he should have gotten the offensive player of the game ball. He should have gotten the game
Well,
ball.
okay, so what we do is we have the Camp Kennerk podcast player of the game,
Charlie Becker.
Charlie Becker. So, Charlie,
Yeah.
now you're an official member of the Camp Kennerk family.
Oh, yes, yes. Now, you know that I like to do my numbers. Okay. And I had picked, where I take the total yards per game and total points and compared them between Indiana and Miami. And Indiana, the differential was 217 points. And they would be the winner, but they only won by 3. They only won
Hmm.
by 3, but that's okay. That's okay. But I have another interesting stat. Now, we'll maybe talk about this on our sports show on Sunday morning. But this is because Indiana won, and it's just you're bubbling over with pride. This is an interesting stat. Okay, I took sacks plus interceptions.
Hmm.
Okay, two figures: sacks plus interceptions equals 63 and for the Hoosiers, and then for the Hurricanes, sacks plus interceptions equals 63. I thought that was just very interesting numbers that were comparing both teams.
Yeah.
But Indiana played won 27-24. Charlie Becker is the Camp Kennerk player of the game, and that ends our college football season this year. But I have another point here. Now, maybe you can enlighten me a little bit, okay? An interesting point is the Indiana slogan to chant, and here I've got to read this: Indiana, our Indiana, all for you. Yeah, Indiana, our Indiana, all for you. It's some sort of fight song,
Yeah,
something
school.
like that.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the school song. Um,
Oh,
but there's another phrase in there I think you missed.
which is Gloriana Fragipana.
Yes. Now, a lot of people, here's a lore behind this, and I wish I could say I made this up, but I didn't. Some people in today's society think those words don't have any meaning. But I did the Camp Kennerk podcast DNA program on this, and it comes to find,
Wikipedia, Camp Kennerk podcast, Wikipedia.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lady who was a student at the University of Indiana back in 1879, and she was the first popcorn queen of Indiana.
Gloriana Fragipani.
Yes,
She was the first popcorn beauty queen.
yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
And the situation is that no one knows what happened after she graduated from school, even though she held such a pageantry title of that nature. And they just sort of went by the wayside. But when they wrote the song, it was at that same time that she became the popcorn queen. And they wanted to make sure that she was honored uh, by the university. So they put her name into the song.
So we should send out all of our viewers around the galaxy to search, and especially those in Indiana, but she may have moved on to look for Gloriana Fragipana.
Yes, yes. You know, if you have a big genealogy profile and maybe you can do some research in there. I imagine, all you got, that's such a unique name and it's in Bloomington, Indiana, and you got the year that, to start with. So I think you could get some traction on that. I was going to do a little bit more research myself.
I think so. Gloriana Frangipano. Oh, okay. I think that's great. Now, we were thinking about doing something a little different here. We've shown the different popcorns that are in the National Popcorn Day, the videos that we have up there, and we've considered the Camp Kennerk popcorn that we've considered, and it's coming on the $1 Million Idea coming website idea, $1 Million Idea website that's coming soon.
Uh-huh.
So, but we also have something else that we are considering because of a family story you told earlier about your younger stuffing your 3-year-old younger brother in the mailbox. And
Yes.
then the postman had to bribe you all with some candy to make sure it doesn't happen again and doesn't scare them and that sort of stuff. And now we are marketing gurus. We have all these great ideas,
Hmm.
and we are willing to share, or somebody has an idea and they need some of our marketing ideas. But we are going to now prove to the world, the galaxy, concerning Dan's cookies.
Yes.
Dan's mailbox cookies. Now, you have a picture of the logo there?
Yes, I put our graphics team together and I gave them the challenge. And after a lot of back and forth, this and that, this is what we came up with. How do you like that,
Whoa!
Douglas?
That is really good. Okay. Now let's work on some slogans. Since you put them in the mailbox, little Danny in the mailbox, and he popped out, scared the mailman, and then he bribed you all with some candy, all 8 of the Kennerk family with some candy. That's why we're calling it Dan's Mailbox Candies. Okay. So, some slogans like "We deliver," and maybe a monthly subscription.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, something like that. And I'll say maybe 2 dozen cookies and some chocolate's always good, caramel's always good, peppermint's always good, and coconut's also good. So if we had a phrase like mailbox cookies, uh, delivered, we delivered a monthly subscription, all for you. All the goodies for you. All the goodies for you. You like that? All the goodies for you?
Yeah, yeah. And of course, we could also might want to put a play on the with something for your stamp of approval.
Oh, I like that one too. Yes, yes, your stamp of approval. And then if you sign up for a year, a subscription, you get a baker's dozen. You get an extra one. You get 13.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
13 because we don't know how to count anyways. And
Yeah.
more than likely they would get a 13 or 14. And we say, what the heck? We got some extra one. We'll just give them an extra one. So
Yeah, you earn the 13 dozen, the baker's dozen, and it's delivered at Christmas. So you got two boxes at Christmas.
mhm.
Okay.
Another slogan, rain, sleet, or snow, Dan's cookies gotta go.
Dan's cookies gotta go. Okay, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay.
Mhm.
And the so to our members or viewers in the galaxy, if you're in the cookie business and you need a brand name or a Dan's Mailbox Cookies, there you go. Give us
Yeah,
a call and we'll be glad to help you.
yeah. I think that's a great idea, Douglas. I
Okay.
really think it is.
Now, do you have your Dr. Pepper there?
Yes, I do. And
I,
thanks for reminding me because I'm a little parched. Whenever I start talking about the old country, Douglas, I get a little parched, a little choked up. So I appreciate you reminding me.
True, true. Now, TK, beautiful week for you. Popcorn, National Popcorn Day. I got my popcorn here. It's almost finished. Indiana beat Miami. We've got our player of the game with Charlie Becker on that interception was absolutely beautiful. That's pretty much all I got for today. And 75 degrees here in awesome Austin, Texas, but snow is coming. Snow is coming. That's all I got for you. Go Cowboys.
Aaron go bra.